It's Monday night. It's 8 o'clock. You know what time it is. It's time to enjoy Play for Keeps the show. This week, today is Revenge of the Fifth. Therefore, this is the collectible show that you seek. MykEE, play the intro.
No, I don't want to.
Do it.
No.
Fine.
I really. Hey, you know what? Keep it rolling.
That's fine, folks. How's everybody doing this evening? Welcome back to Nerd Initiative. My name's Off the Cuff Tom. We were experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties. MykEE forgot to charge his Kyber crystal this week, so we're running a little bit behind. Things happen. We're always happy to have you here. You guys know me. My name's Off the Cuff Tom, Nerd Initiative's pop culture connoisseur. And with me, as always, is the voice of Nerd Initiative himself. He puts the charge in my lightsaber. He's MykEE CWK Smith. What's going on, MykEE?
I am disgusted because it's Revenge of the Fifth, and I hate all things good and awesome right now.
And that is why we are having such a great idea tonight. We were thinking, what can we come up with that's just going to make everything seem so different and wonderful? So we figured that we're going to come out with this great idea of Revenge of the Fifth, the worst Star Wars, figures ever. There was so much stuff going on in the Star Wars community, and we've never really seen everybody just, oh yeah, Revenge of the Fifth, Revenge of the Fifth. It's cute, it's nice, it's fun, right? Well, let's just play into that. First and foremost, hopefully you went on to nerdinitiative.com on all of our social medias and saw the fantastic video that, between my whatever the heck swirling and twirling that I do and MykEE's unbelievable editing skills makes me look good yet again. I don't know how he does it, but he does, folks. I'm just telling you. But
it's not that hard. You're talented.
Okay. Well, you know what? Having that said, and I think we finally got our Sith together. MykEE, play the intro.
Oh.
I mean, mind you, I was listening to metal version of the Cantina yesterday, so I got no room to talk. But you know what? Welcome back, everybody, and a very happy Revenge of the Fifth to you. Welcome to Play for Keeps the show. We're going to be talking about the worst Star Wars toys. It's the dark side. And again, let me reintroduce myself. My name's Off the Cuff Tom, Nerd Initiative's pop culture connoisseur, and with me, as always, is MykEE. Now, we've got a lot of stuff going on, but first and foremost, we got to talk about what's topical, what is going on in the toy news. This just in, we have news.
Bad news, I hope.
No. We have some of the news. As soon as I can get my parsecs all in order and in line.
I mean, there's plenty of cool Star Wars collectibles that have been released over the last couple of days. If you guys,
this is true. I haven't found anything that really floated my boat.
Yeah,
really. There was a few Doorables. I was like, okay, so we can go with that. But in toy news, we've got a few things I wanted to, highlight and pick up on. First and foremost, coming out of April O'Neil's month of TMNT, we wanted to start off with the brand new from Super 7. Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, I've got my cans on.
Sorry.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Super 7's doing this whole, and I believe this is, I don't know if this is a 4-pack or if this is going to be,
No, they're
let me tell,
singles.
they're singles.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this?
I really like it. Like, I think they look really cool to me. I mean, I don't it may be a while before I can afford them, but like,
Well, that's the truth. And of course, we want to know what you guys think in the chat, in the super chat. All right, like Skelly the Boxer. Hello, good evening.
hello.
But I think these are kind of nice. I don't know. I don't know. This is one of the few times, and you ready for this? I'm
Okay.
gonna say I might want cell shading on these.
Maybe some black shadowing,
Yeah,
maybe a little bit, a little bit. Don't
just a
go crazy.
little.
Don't go crazy.
I think that yeah. Well, how many Power Ranger cell shading figures were there?
Uh, yeah.
There's one
Okay. Uh,
for a good reason.
yeah.
But yeah, following that up because it is Revenge of the Fifth, we wanted to, of course, with all the stuff coming out yesterday and new figures. Like I know there was the new Villains 3-pack, which is a
Yeah.
fantastic deal because you're getting $20 per figure,
Yeah.
right? But that particular version of Grievous, I didn't want to put on here because he's like too clean, he's too nice, he's
Yeah. I
too
don't like that.
pretty.
Yeah.
So we decided to go with a little bit more Moff Gideon's Mandalorian helmet.
That's a beaut.
And it's $99 on Hasbro.
That's not bad.
It has light up effects. It has all this for 99 bucks. I'm sorry, man. They're screwing me over on 6-inch figures. I'd much rather spend 99 on this.
Heck yeah. You think about it. That's 4 figures for that instead. That's not
Yeah.
bad.
Like I'm all for this one.
I love it. I love Moff Gideon. I love the Mandalorian. So like I really wish I just got too many collectibles. The helmets really speak to me though. All these like Black Series helmets that they
Yeah.
release, like man, I'd love to have them, but I don't
And
know. I just
Hasbro does helmets really well, and it doesn't matter what branding it is or IP. Like
yeah,
we've seen Marvel with Spider-Man, with
yep,
we've gotten the Star Lord, we've gotten Green Goblin. That's what I meant to say. Rangers, we've had how many?
oh yeah,
We'll see how Playmates does with that. And Star Wars, we've got Clone Troopers, Clone Troopers, Clone
so
Troopers,
many,
Stormtroopers, Darth. You know,
yeah.
give me a Revan. Give me a Darth Revan helmet.
I'm really surprised they haven't done that yet.
I think they're still waiting to see how well his figure sold last year, last 2 years. I mean, I do
I
have
mean,
both of them.
he's a he's like a let's say a cult favorite, I guess. Like
He's
hardcore fans love
yeah,
him.
he's definitely
Or
a
her.
B tier, B tier by general public,
Yeah,
S tier by those who know.
yeah, exactly.
You
There you go.
know, and then to follow it up, if you guys have been following along with the Nerd Initiative bullpen, we have been absolutely loving everything that's coming out of Skybound.
Hmm.
Hasbro has its fingers in certain toy lines, and they were trying to do this collaborative effort. And over at Skybound, they're doing Transformers, they're doing GI Joe. So the next one in the collaborative line is going to be
Oh yeah.
Cup as the Triple T, featuring Leatherneck and Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter, you got to get it.
And see, here's the hard one. So me, how I'm collecting my collaborative lines. I
Yep.
want ones that are characters made out of the figures. So like, Ectotron or,
Oh yeah.
Gigawatt or whatnot.
Right.
But this one hits a little bit different. This might be the one that's going to, give me a little bit of leadway. And it's like, you know what, maybe I should get this. Um,
Yeah, it's kind of like. I mean, did you care for like the Megatron his tank?
no, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Didn't they do another one? Was it Soundwave? Did something I can't remember.
Yeah, there was another one that they did. But I don't.
Fascinated by them, but again, I just. I,
I think that the fact that this is one of those extreme '80s, like in the real military, we don't have stuff like this, and I think that's what made such a big draw to this particular toy to me when I was a kid, because I had the Triple T when I was a kid.
yeah.
So just the fact that it's Cup, and not to hound anybody if you haven't read the book last week.
It is a sound wave. It doesn't say what he transformed out of though. Hold on. Oh, what is that car? The
Oh,
Thunder
that.
Machine. The
Oh,
Thunder
okay.
Machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just don't know. Maybe because this is the first Autobot, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's more the iconography of the vehicle, the GI Joe vehicle that happens to be Cup.
Yeah.
I don't know, just because it doesn't make sense to me for a bad guy, but the fact that I don't know. It's how it works in my head. Okay,
That's
it's
fair.
my toy chest, and I'll do with it and play with it the way I want.
uh, that's
You
fair.
know, just look at that. Look at that.
It
Look at
looks
that.
awesome. And again, anytime I can get a Sergeant Slaughter figure, I'm kind of on board.
This is true.
Big fan.
Yep. But we're here to talk about some of the worst figures in all of Star Wars. We've selected a few. Did you get any pickups this week?
I did, but I wanted to mention because I didn't have time. We had some technical difficulties, but one little toy news thing that I would like to just say out
Yeah,
loud.
hit me.
If you guys are paying attention to the DC Sonic crossover comic series, Jack Pacific, who makes the Sonic toys right now or has the licensing for them, has announced they will be doing figures for that comic series run, which I'm on board like big time. I can't wait to get a Batman Shadow. It's going to be the best thing ever.
Ooh. Yeah, we did talk about this earlier. Um, if I remember correctly, talking about this, we talked about this just after New York Toy Fair, if I remember correctly.
Was that up there? I didn't remember that.
Yep, I remember we
But yeah,
saw a few figures during New York Toy Fair. So yes, Jax did put out the press release today, out in Santa Monica. The new toy line will feature fan favorite characters in both franchises, including Sonic, Shadow, Tails, alongside members of the DC's Justice League, including Soups, Bats, Wonder Woman, reimagined in bold and action-packed crossover design. From articulated
yeah.
action figures to vehicles and plush. Ooh, plush! I'm in. Give me an Amy Rose with a hammer any day. This dynamic collection will celebrate the heroic energy and visual excitement of both brands. I'm down for it. I'm totally down for it.
I'm hyped for it. Let's go.
I mean, I think it'd be a great time. But you know, it's not a great time.
What's that?
The worst toys in Star Wars history.
It might be.
I don't know. All right. I
Uh,
mean, these are, if you look, they are Jar Jar approved.
oh boy. You know
My
what? I was watching The Phantom Menace yesterday for Star Wars Day. That was kind of like my contribution because it was on
mm-hmm,
TV. And what did I think it was my youngest son who hasn't really know anything about Star Wars, doesn't really care.
mm-hmm.
It was just kind of like pointing at him. He's like, "Why is that guy like that?" I was like, "It's a whole thing, man."
By the way, also, as much as we're celebrating Revenge of the Fifth, all right, big, huge shout out to everybody at the Nerd Initiative crew who did take their time to submit some stuff for Star Wars Day. I know also shout out to MykEE, who also did a lot of editing, putting together those awesome videos. So, again, claps and shout outs to everybody out there as well. Between the articles and videos and everything, make sure to go check out nerdinitiative.com. We've got some great, fun, heartfelt stuff for you.
Yeah, I was like surprisingly a little bit moved by Derek and Lauren's particular
I,
little
I
little packages like because that I put together, and I loved Matt's Lego collection absolutely. But like the way Derek was talking about the A wing, I was like, I think I might like the A wing now.
mm-hmm.
Um,
One thing I absolutely, and don't forget, Eric also had his story that he put in late, and I I nudged. I'll be honest. I'm going to take a little credit on this, but I
do
nudged
it.
Lauren into doing that because I knew she got into Star Wars later in life and how
Yeah,
much of this. So I knew what I was doing on this one for once. Yeah.
yeah. I, everything she said though, I was like, that's really cool. Like I really
hmm
thought it was really awesome.
And hello there.
Hello.
Well, let's get into it. So we're breaking this down. We've got 3 different whole sections. We even have a little bit of a game for everybody to play. So make sure that when
Ooh.
you're out there, chat, super chat. We want to know what you think. If you have your own particular favorite or least favorite or disappointment, much like all of Star Wars and their daddy issues, let us know in the chat. Okay. So we're going to start off with the go figure category.
Oh
So
boy.
the Go figure category is based on figures of why did they mold this or design it as such.
Okay.
Okay. The fun part is that usually Mickey and I, again, we've had our weeks, so this is we team up. This whole presentation is on me this week, so
I'm excited.
I'm chaos goblin mode like you have no idea.
uh, Go
So
figure.
go figure.
Oh, that Mace Windu, man.
Okay, and look what he's screaming too.
Ezekiel.
Pulp Fiction, anyone?
As I walked. Uh,
But let's take a look here. So, one, we do have this particular Mace Windu that came from Attack of the Clones that was completely and terribly. This was supposed to be like the Ben Genosha. The molding on it was horrible.
Yikes.
The other fun thing is that they started doing the toy molds before Sam Jackson had picked his lightsaber. So, if you notice, this particular lightsaber is not his lightsaber. It's very close, kind of
Yeah.
to the Anakin legacy saber, not the Graflex, but the one that he had that Luke
Yeah.
did later.
Yeah.
Now R5.
I like
Does
that.
anybody remember where R5 like became this like mechanized weapon?
Oh, was it the
He never did.
only
He
thing I can
never did.
remember is when
This is
Luke was
Celator.
trying to buy him, right?
Yep, this was Celator. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that R5 came back in Mando,
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and served a purpose. But this whole garbage right here, I mean, he's got blasters. He's got, a wind up thing. He opens up like,
But can he communicate with moisture evaporators?
no, he's very dry with it, with his talk. And then let's look at turgid, Luke here. Like, who would design? Like, I know that the Emperor's really trying to push it here on Luke, but like I don't get it, man. Is he like having some incontinence issues, or
I think he's just having a hard time carving the turkey.
I'm telling you.
Uh,
And then me Princess Leia.
Dude, I just noticed the friggin' caveman behind her.
I told you, man. I had fun with this one.
So easy a caveman could do it.
You
Princess
know,
Leia.
but like seriously, like I was debating between using the
What?
Geico Neanderthals or me one snoo snoo. But
Oh yeah. What year? I wonder what year that toy came out. I'm
that was
curious.
actually Power of the Force. So this was early 2000s. And trust me,
How do you get the mold off so bad?
we're going to talk about that
Yeah,
because
okay.
especially in Power of the Force, which also I believe the Luke was as well.
Mhm.
In the Power of the Force line, we're here to pump
Dude,
Luke up.
jacked.
Yep. A lot of these figures in the Power of the Force line were just way over barrel chested. Like, I don't know what the heck. And this was Kenner at the time. This was not Hasbro.
It's the era,
Um,
man. That's kinda what was like
like
I
seriously, like Mark Hamill has never been able to pull that off.
no. Love him to death, but no.
Yeah, like what is he moisture farming out there? Steroids? I don't know.
I bet this came I bet they were probably making some figures for, like, an action movie, and they were like, "Just use the same body mold. It'll be fine."
I wouldn't be surprised. Like maybe we should put them up against like Demolition Man or something. Like these were I don't get it. And again, there's Luke as a stormtrooper, and several other male figures had this overly developed design, and so did that poor princess, me Princess Leia.
They were all on steroids and dealing with all the negative effects as well.
But again, we're here to pump Luke
You
up. Yeah,
Oh, man.
you can definitely tell this is a Tom episode, huh?
Yeah.
Every slide has a pun.
I love it.
Now we're gonna just go,
Who dat?
who dat?
Who dat?
Who
Who
dat?
dat?
So there have been so many figures, and especially if you go to your local Ollie's and you see like all these peg warmers, like Admiral Holdo. And again, I almost wanted to do a why, but this is how it turned into why did we make this figure? But we turned it into who dat. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm going to pull up some slides and you're going to have to guess Who dat? And
Who
these
dat?
are obscure Star Wars characters that Hasbro decided, hey, let's give it the 6-inch treatment.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So, round one. Who dat? Slice Hat McPoncho?
I think. Well.
Constable Zuvio?
Uh huh.
Or Poncho McBignose?
Or Poncho MC Big Nose. I mean, if I'm guessing, I'm pretty sure it's Constable Zuvio.
Now, can you tell me where Constable Zuvio is from?
I don't think I can.
Chat, super chat. Let's see in the comments where you think that where you've seen Constable Zuvio.
I will be impressed if someone can tell us.
I would be impressed if you would have told us. But yes, Constable Zuvio was in The Force Awakens.
Okay.
Yep, on the planet of Jakku.
Jakku.
Yep. He's just trying to keep law and order with his little merry militia.
Yeah. And they're pink and blues.
Yep, but again, Poncho McBignose.
Wasn't the toy green? Look, the toy looked green.
Well,
I mean, I guess that could be green.
You got
it. Lighting's off.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So up next, we've got Who Dat? Round 2. Common Rider Blast. Bug-Eye Von Blastiken. It wouldn't let me put the rest on. Or Zero Q9-0.
Man, that I'm leaning towards Common Rider Blast, but I think I'm gonna go Zero Q90 for sure.
All right, so the droid Q90. Where have you seen Zero from?
I feel like I've seen Zero in the background of a cantina, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
That's why I wanted to go with this. So yes, it does look very much like one of the bug creatures that you see in the Tatooine Cantina, but zoom. Zero was in it's B, thank you, Cap. But Zero was in Mandalorian season 1, episode 6. It was the heist episode that they did.
Yep. Okay.
You know?
Yep. With Bill Burr and Booker.
and I'm not going to go into my Star Wars hot take on here because we do try to be a family friendly channel. All I'm saying is, if you ever want to know, find me on the socials. I'll tell you about Star Wars hot take, and it has something to do with Twi'leks.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. So for our last Who Dat? This is a shout out to my buddy Greg, who's one of the biggest Star Wars guys that I know. This is a running gag between him and me.
Okay.
And hopefully he catches this. Or Mickey, you actually make it a thing for when we put it out later this week with the clips. Okay. Thank you. Who Dat?
Oh, come on. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this Jackson? Is it Bucky O'Hare, who goes where no ordinary rabbit would dare?
Yeah.
Or is it Bugaffa?
This is a trick question. Man, I really want to say Bucky O'Hare, but
I always say Bucky O'Hare. I know the answer, obviously.
But it's Jackson.
Yep, that's right. And do you know where Jackson was first introduced?
I think in the comics. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Jackson was introduced in the comics, and apparently a very popular character, kind of important. One thing that Black Series did do is they did this whole comic book style with a whole flip page on the front.
It's if you don't know this, we have a problem.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Man, more fantasy series need to put bunny humanoids in their series.
Yeah, everybody needs a good anthropomorphic rabbit at any time.
Go watch Warriors of Virtue, by the way. Great movie. Well, those are kangaroos, though.
Those are kangaroos.
Oh, man.
Yeah, just go watch Bucky O'Hare.
Yeah. That's good, too.
All right. And then we're going to go into the last whole set. This is a quick episode. We're just doing this as a fun spoof
Yeah.
of Star Wars stuff. So hopefully you watch this on repeat. Um,
Woo.
yeah, right. But it's C3P. What the
I like this one. Uh,
Okay, so the reason I came up with this is more along the lines of why or who decided to come up with these particular things.
okay.
Whether it's, and I didn't do like the holiday things, the holiday
Oh,
Black
I hate
Series, and we're
those.
not doing all Black Series, folks. Trust me, there's more stuff in this particular one. I do like the holiday series.
I
Some
don't
of
like
them
them.
are cute. Like if someone would get the K2SO with the little BD, I just want the little BD figure, and I have done that. I have honestly spent $5 on an Imperial from Andor just so I can get the mouse droid.
Okay.
Okay, if I
Add it
let
to
me
the
just
droid collection. Yeah. Okay.
exactly now
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know because I got the droid shelf up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, off the top of my head, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16, 23, 29, 42, 60. I've
Ooh.
got at least 74 some odd Star Wars figures alone on this side of my wall.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I thought you were counting mouse droids, and I was like, boy, that's a lot.
No, no. If I had all those mouse droids, I think we'd have an infestation.
uh,
But there is a new mouse figure. If you guys haven't figured, if you guys get a chance to go down to Disney, to Disney World and Disneyland, they do have a brand new remote control mouse droid for $99.
that's kind of
And
cool. Is
and
it
you
like?
just go to
Is it
you
full size, like full scale, two scale?
full size two
Oh
scale mouse
heck
droid.
yeah! I'm down.
The downside is once you look at the remote, you'll realize is this is like the cheapo remote. So
Yeah,
like you're paying more for the licensing and IP and the shell of a figure. Like
absolutely.
honestly, go buy for those of you who have like a 3D printer, just go print one and put it on a remote control car.
That's a project I'd like to see from some of our fans.
Yeah. Hey,
Yeah.
well, once I get my whole new office studio, I've been
Oh,
guaranteed a 3D printer.
excellent.
Excellent. But the fun thing is, like, I probably won't even use for half the toy things everybody thinks I'm going to do.
Yeah.
All right, so C3P, what the?
What the?
All right, so this is a newer line. Kat will be down in Disney tomorrow. She'll be seeing what new Star Wars merch that she has to pack up and ship back to me. Thank you so very much.
Very cool.
Kat, is this going to be your first time to Disney and especially visiting Batu?
Oh,
Let us know because
yeah.
I mean you've got plenty of friends here that have been to Batu,
I
to a
have not.
galaxy far, far away. Well, at least me, Lauren, Matt.
Yeah, I know you.
Uh, I went to Batu the first time this past year, believe it or not.
Okay.
I will say we're gonna take a second. We're gonna take a brief pause, and we're gonna actually talk to the lighter side of Star Wars right now. I did have the opportunity to go to Batu this past year, and I went with somebody who doesn't understand Star Wars, who doesn't get Star Wars, who doesn't have the
Mhm.
nostalgia to it. And I honestly, I stopped dead in my tracks. I saw that full size Millennium Falcon, and
Yeah.
I was overwhelmed, and not in a bad way. I
Hmm.
just felt that here I am in this setting with people that know and love this particular franchise and have decided to take this, decided to come here and celebrate it all together. I lucked out even yesterday and turned on TikTok and saw that it was right when they were doing their lightsaber lighting ceremony down at
Oh,
Batu.
okay.
So they were all, I mean, literally the whole land was lit up with greens and blues and yellows and purples and dark sabers and red sabers and lightsabers and gray sabers and whatever. NeoPixel, way overpriced Disney, whatever the heck.
Yeah.
Um, yes, do you have a lightsaber?
Who? Me?
You.
I do, but it's dead. I need to charge it. I tried to use it
Ah.
last night. I was gonna try and add something to your video. I was like, "Oh man, I gotta charge it."
That's why I have four.
There you go. I only have well, I had 3, but 2 of them shorted out on me. I've been working on them, but I only got 1 working right now.
Gotta resolder the boards.
Yep.
Uh, so yeah,
15th,
so
16th time, says Cat.
but
She's a pro.
yeah, seriously, she's a zippity doo dah dork.
Just
I
like the
say
rest
that,
of us.
I say that lovingly.
That's right.
Uh,
Uh,
but yeah, she saw it just this last time when she went in January, and it was an experience. And I saw Batu West. Um, I haven't been to East. I know the missus, she'll be going later this year. I got a man down the fort, whatever.
yeah.
It evens out, that we got, so,
Yeah.
but I can't wait to get the experience out of her.
That's cool.
But we're talking about these figures. So the Holocron series figures, all right, relatively new. Again, as I like to call these, the dim-witted display. These are just reprints of the figures that we already have. Nothing spectacular about them except they are clear. The downside is they use such cloudy plastic that the really garbage LED at the bottom
Mhm.
lights up about just enough. You can see it in this picture. They're trying because you can see there's an extra source light off to the
Yeah.
side.
Like, it makes
You
it that
you
light makes
get
it to the knees, man.
That's about it, Especially like look at Ahsoka's hammer pants.
Yeah.
Nope. The only one who's got a pretty decent shot is probably Sabine over there on the end.
Yeah.
And there's Han going, eh, huh? So like this is one of those things that I wouldn't mind seeing at Ollie's and then design like, a setup of my own with decent LEDs underneath them. I do
Yeah.
like the fact that they did add in the little Arabesh um, on there, but again, just the dim-witted display holocron series.
It's not something I wanna pay full price for like I would a normal figure,
Yeah.
but that's just me.
And then up next we have the Magic 8 Ball Yoda.
That's pretty awesome.
Now, obviously, you can tell this is a little bit dated. This was way back in the day. Obviously, Yoda just wants to remind you, Frank Oz, you are not. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, look where they're looking. That's Frank Oz's territory.
Yeah.
20 different answers. Like, mm,
From Yoda?
this is true, I believe.
Uh,
Just make sure you watch out for those seagulls, though.
uh,
This is the Tom episode.
it's the best.
But yeah, like I get it. Magic 8 Ball, late 70s, early 80s, it was a thing. So if you could throw
Yeah.
an eight, throw it into something, great. Why not put it into the Wisest Jedi? I mean, Empire was 80, what, 81?
Yeah. And it's Star Wars, man. You merchandising, like, everything has to have a Star Wars version of it.
Mr. Potato Head has one.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Cross merchandising, cross marketing. Let's go.
I mean, Darth Spud, I think it was.
I wish I could see what does the triangle say on the bottom there?
Certain I cannot be.
Okay.
Pardon me.
Do or do not.
There is no try. But they tried a little too hard with that.
Yeah, they did try.
Mm-hmm. And then also around the same time,
Dude,
they made
that's great.
yeah, they made a tauntaun like with flappy that you could put your figure in.
That's awesome.
Who was asking for this? Really?
I love this. Like, I didn't ever have one, but like
Mhm.
I like stuff like that. It's weird and cool and like
Okay, now we like it. Would you have wanted that when you were 8-year-old Mickey? Like if you
I
wanted,
think so
I
because
want this lightsaber, I want that lightsaber, I want this, I want Luke, I want that, and then I want
I was the kid that liked doing this, like, something had to have, like, some kind of feel or, like, effect to it for me to, like, really enjoy it, like, He-Man toys, I love swinging them. I love if they had levers or anything, I'm just constantly doing that, and, like,
Mhm.
if I could put something in, like, something's belly, make it eat it, that's the kind of stuff I like to do, so this would be something I would have enjoyed as a kid.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe.
then I'm glad your parents never got you Muckman going back to our Turtles episode.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I had that one. I love that figure. That goo gets everywhere.
Yeah.
But here's a quick question for you. What is the temperature of a tauntaun?
I don't know.
Seriously? I'm being dead serious, Mickey. You do you know this joke?
No. Oh, wait.
It's lukewarm.
Slow clap. uh, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know, again, folks, if you looked at this thumbnail and thought you were here for a really evil episode, we got you.
yeah, exactly.
uh, but there's all kinds of figures out there. And then all I want for Christmas is cardboard. This was the biggest snub of Star Wars history. Not to mention how we, only get, oh, let's announce a figure at May 4th that's not available till September 2026.
Yes.
Thanks, Hasbro.
Yes.
Because they just took this idea from Kenner all the way back in 1979, 78, 79, whatever. But Kenner wasn't able to put out all these figures during the first run, during the first movie. So what did they do? You got a IOU to give to your kids at Christmas of, hey, we just purchased all these figures to come fresh, hot off the line months later.
Here's your piece of cardboard.
Here's your piece of cardboard. Go hang it up in your room. Don't touch it. Don't think about it. That's it.
The original pre-order, baby.
It is. It's the serious. It is the original pre-order, to say the least.
If you didn't know what it was and you opened it, you'd be like, what the hell? Where are the toys at? But I guess if you knew what it was, you might be excited. I don't know.
And that's the thing. Like, you couldn't have get away with it in today's culture.
Nah.
No, because there was lack of internet, lack of communication.
Yeah.
Billy down the street's not going to tell you, oh, hey, I got the new Star Wars cardboard. No, Billy's going to show you his figures when they come in.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
you got to have some balls to do that. Depending on the True.
This is true. I'll give you that. But the fact that I gotta agree with Mickey, it is the ultimate pre-order.
In a time when, well, I guess in a time when they weren't used to that, they might be like,
no, just hey kids, make sure to send in your receipts to Ovaltine so you can get the secret decoder ring.
Yeah, send in your proofs of purchase. 10 proofs of purchase.
Yep. I'm like, Mom, can I get more Lucky Charms? They're magically delicious. It's that same idea.
This reminds me of like
Wonder Bread He-Man.
Yes, but also off subject. Like, you remember when toys came in cereal boxes? Like, it was in there, and then it became like, oh no, you got to send in, proofs of purchase to get it. We're not going to put. And now I don't. Now I think it's like you can get Robux or V-Bucks or whatever they are. Like, dude, get out of here.
Yep.
Put toys back in cereal boxes.
Reaganomics. I don't know, man. Now we have to take another serious moment here, folks. All right. There's someone who's been snubbed in the Star Wars community. And no, we're not talking Ahmed Best, because he has had probably one of the best redemption arcs ever in the Star Wars community. We are talking about the great Will Rod Hood. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't know, Will Rod is famous for carrying around what we believe is an ice cream maker, which it actually was in Cloud City. And he did have a figure made, and trust me, this figure is not.
That's hilarious.
Not very appealing. Not very, like, he just looks like a big, huge orange pear. The only like real redemption is if you take a look, we have the client over here from Mandalorian who like really like gave some legitimacy to this safe. That's what it was supposed to be. It wasn't they weren't making ice cream in Cloud City. It was a safe. It was for transporting stuff, which, okay, sure, whatever, George. You're just going to CGI over it anyway.
Yeah, it's just
give him a new figure. Make him like this is one of the few times HasLab could actually make some money.
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, absolutely. Why make a huge figure like Unicron or a life size Optimus Prime? Give me Will Rod Hood.
I do wish they would do that, like smaller things, not just like $400 or $500 items all the time.
Yeah, like don't give me the nerd money, stuff. Give me the actual nerd money price stuff.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Stuff
But
you're just basically custom ordering them for certain people that
yep,
are hardcore collectors. Yeah,
and don't get me wrong. I've had my say over Super Seven and how they've done some of their business practices in the past, and they're finally getting better with it, and that's good
yeah.
on them, and we love them. Send me stuff. But this is like one of those opportunities. Anybody in the chat, we also want to know, what figures do you want to see? Like, I've had a really great thread on Reddit for the long time going, hey, what figures do you want? Me personally, I would love to have the old man clones from Rebels.
Yes.
Like, why don't we
Ditto,
have them?
ditto. And that
You know?
walker t and their old walker too. That would be cool.
Yeah. No, 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 no. When you start, hold on. When you start getting into Black Series size walkers,
Oh, well, yeah, I didn't
for
think of that.
price, it's not going to work. That's why that Ghost was so much.
Facts.
But if you do vintage collection size, then you can work with that.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't like vintage collection anyway. The figures are great. They're beautifully detailed and scaled, but I want something that I can see. I
Yeah.
don't want, 3.5 size matters, folks.
Uh,
I don't care
maybe.
what they say. Don't get me wrong. I was at the store yesterday and, I do my normal loop. And yes, Cat, if I didn't have my whole shelf away, I literally have a shelf that last I counted, I have a dozen clones on. There was a brand new clone announced yesterday. I
There was.
already have it for pre-order. So if there is a clone figure out there, I pretty much have. There's some I'm missing, like the aerial clone, clone phase 2, but I have phase 1. I have phase 1 lieutenant, which is very hard to find,
Okay.
apparently. But I pretty much have every clone that has been released with the exception of the Imperial Shock, the red one, because
Mhm,
that was in the transition when they were going from clones to consignment.
mhm.
And I was like, no, see, that's Imperial. Once they went Imperial,
Yeah.
I cut it out. Even if you look between my two different Bad Batches, I do have both crosshairs.
Okay.
So I have season 1, I have season
Yeah.
2 in his black outfit. And the best part is, like, I have a season 2 all hurt and just looking over his shoulder at everybody.
Uh,
So, but anyway, justice for Will Rod.
yeah.
Give him a figure. Give me something. I don't care. Get the rights to that ice cream maker. You know,
Uh.
I'll take a Wookiee freeze any day. You know, I
Uh,
mean they put R2 on toasters and waffle makers. Why not give me the Will Rod ice cream machine?
they could do it.
They got mouse money. They can do it.
They could do it.
And then there's this.
Misa say eat it. None of those pops were really a good idea, especially this one.
We've seen lightsaber pops. We've seen
God,
Sith saber pops. But this, I will say, that's a big, big boy, bad idea.
that was really good.
Oh, thank
Uh,
you.
uh, I just could you imagine walking around? You'd have to do that ironically. Nobody's like actually.
And the worst part is, like, you have to turn it sideways because the face is like, say
Yeah.
it's not like you go la, 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 la. No, you gotta ooh. That looks even worse. Um,
Uh,
but that's the thing. Like, I get it. The great yogurt said it once the best. Merchandising.
yep.
And how many times do we say that probably on here every other freaking week?
Yeah.
You know, it's what we love. We do love Star Wars. We're not trying to knock it. We're big fans of it. We wanted to just have some fun with this. And again, if this was any of your first, instances of Star Wars, we're not knocking
No.
your spot. We're praising it along with you. I
Absolutely.
mean, we all have had figures that we're disappointed in. Um, I really don't know if there's a figure back behind me. Yes, there is. I have one that I'm disappointed in. It was the celebration on Endor Leia.
Okay.
It really is. It's a 2-point figure.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because the dress is one piece. Like
The
it's
dress
all
is one whole solid piece.
okay.
Here's another flop right behind me.
I can't see it.
That is the Lola droid from Obi-Wan season 1.
Oh, okay. Now I see the
These
head and the body. Okay.
these came out at $85 a piece.
Yes, they did. I remember that.
And do you know what I got mine for?
$20.
13.
Nice clearance section rules.
Yep. No, this was
No,
online. This was Amazon.
still it was. It's
Big Daddy Bezos said, "Get
get
this
them out of here.
out of here."
Give them away.
It's kind of crazy to think about that, and that's how we look at it. Like I said, I bought one Imperial, threw the figure away, and just to get the mouse droid. But yeah, that's really about it. We love Star Wars. We love being able to share this stuff with you. We want to know what you want to see. This whole month of May, we don't really have a theme. It's kind of mayhem right now. So
Yeah.
if you have some ideas, make sure to throw them out to us. We'll definitely take them in. We want to know what you want to see, what you want to talk about in TV or toys or collectibles or TV and toys, because that's our thing,
That's
really,
what
if you
we
think
do.
about it. That is what we do.
Uh,
We do have a few things lined up, we can always go to, but you're our go-to out there, the fans. So to make sure that you're letting us know what's going on, you want to make sure that you subscribe. You hit that bell for all the notifications, and you hit that big, hard, huge thumbs up to let Michael know that we are doing our job and we are doing it well. Correct? Correct.
yes.
That's right. And go right off of that. So yeah, folks, with everything going on, we do want to say May the 4th be with you. All right. Whether it's Revenge of the 6th, 5th,
Fifth.
or 6th, or whatever number to insert here. We appreciate you coming along for the ride. We've got a bunch of stuff coming up this week. Tomorrow night on Turn a Page, I have a very special variant edition coming up.
Okay. Is it a
Yep.
surprise?
It is a surprise, and I will be defending things.
Okay. I like
All
that.
right.
I like that.
Ken's on assignment, so I'm taking the helm tomorrow night.
Nice.
So stay tuned. We're going to have that information up shortly. Wednesday, we have tons of reviews coming out. How many you got this week?
2. Yep. Got a jump scare and you got 2. Dang. Jump scare and plague house. I'm on horror duty this week.
You're on horror duty this week. Well, everybody knows my wheelhouse. It's always cartoons and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So I've got Defenders of the Earth, Silverhawks. I'm just all over the place. Blood and Thunder. Captain Planet #1's finally coming out from our friend Pepos.
Heck yeah.
I am busy doing reviews this week. Thursday, Wrestling Night Live, jumping in from the top rope. That's right. Rich and Sammy are going to be talking about everything in AEW, WWE, ECW, Japan Wrestling, and insert other acronyms there.
IPWGGA.
Squared.
Yeah.
Times 2.
Uh,
But yeah, folks, we have enjoyed doing this for you. I hope you all had a great laugh tonight. Make sure to come back here to Nerd Initiative. We really want to be able to share all of our love of nerd culture. And you know what? They say, may the force be with you.
oh.
But as Sith, we say, may the force serve you well.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, when you play
For key.